Hello. How you guys doing? I thought I would talk to you. We're supposed to be talking about Bible crap, but just pre-reading up on Jacob, Jacob and his Technicolor Dreamcoat, stuff like that. It's a wonderful little story, and you see that each time we get ready to say something, a new story, they all have around the same kind of thing. This is what I say. You're supposed to look into it and see that there is a similarity. And of course, right now, Jacob has had all these children, and God has called him Israel, and these children are the zodiac. And we're introduced to Benjamin in this story, but in reality, we're going to start off with Joseph. Joseph is Jacob's favorite, and he winds up being he's dwelling with his father all the time, while his brothers are out in the field all the time tending to things. And it's his father that taught Joseph how to read and to write, and you're setting up the two sides of the mind here in these stories, because they're all going to be the same. You're going to have this, when Jacob was hanging out with Laban, he was hanging out with the right side. He was hanging out in heaven, and he was getting bored, because there's really nothing going on. All you're really doing is serving the Lord there. You know. And this is what Joseph was doing. Joseph was serving his father Israel. Israel becomes a state of mind now, besides just his father. And remember, he's staying in the land of Canaan, which in like a leapfrog type of thing, which was foreign to his father. Is unknown to Jacob's father. This Canaan, this land of Canaan. Because that's his left side. The left side of you is always foreign to this other side. It doesn't even want to go there. It wants to kill this side. So so it's really set up so you'll see that Jacob spent his time. He doubled up his sevens, and worked for that's 14 years. That 7 sevens actually becomes what 7 sevens 14 before 5. 5 is the killing of yourself. Giving yourself over to the other side. It's the same thing happens with Joseph, except it kind of gets a little twist to it, because in the Cain and Abel story, it's Cain kills him, such and such kills this one, someone's always trying to kill the left side's always trying to kill the right side. And so in this story, it's no different. His brothers, which were born from all of the, the maids, and all the slaves and all this stuff like that. His brothers, they represent the left side, are going to kill him too. Oh, they got something more in plan. So they throw him in a well, and they sell him off. They sell him off. This is when you sell off your crown. But the thing is that, it's still the crown. It's still something really beautiful about you. And even wherever he went, he was better than most other people that were around. He was smarter. And the Pharaoh saw this, and other people saw this. Plus, he was able to read dreams. He was a diviner of all things in the Bible, a diviner. But, he could read the dreams, and he could, or interpret the dreams. He also had a cup that he could stir up, and he could divine out of this cup, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat stuff. So you'll find that this is a really cool aspect of this plot that goes about trying to kill him, because he winds up being in charge of everything. He's still the boss, because he's father's right hand man, And we'll find out later on that's what Benjamin means. Benjamin is, his father's right-hand man. His right hand, the son of his right hand. And anything from the right hand is symbolically important. And so, anyways, the brothers don't kill him. They sell him off. They move him on to another position, a higher position, even that. He goes over into Egypt, and you got to remember now that he's going down into Egypt, because Egypt is the lower mind. But he winds up being a slave down there. This is the story of the prodigal son. You're being going down and being a slave. This and that, and a prisoner. Someone then pulls him out of this and then brings him up into a higher zone, and he's answering questions of the 7 cows. The Pharaoh has a dream, and Pharaoh, you're Pharaoh. You would be Pharaoh in the left side. He has a dream about while he's dreaming. 7 cows come out of the water, so it's mystical. 7 fat cows, healthy, wonderful cows come out. And just a few minutes later or so, 7 raunchy, skinnier ones come up and mean and all, and they come up and they devour the 7. And so, a little bit later on, he sees a dream. His dream, he has his 7 ears of corn. That's a Mandela change. They didn't have corn. It was wheat back then. So, I don't want to get sidetracked, but 7 ears of corn came up, and then 7 ugly ones came up, and they choked out the good guys. Every time that we try to make this trip up into heaven, there's always something that's trying to break in on that, And a little bit later, when we are introduced to Moses, he's at the well. When he meets women at the well who will come in to feed their flock, the men of the town come in and scare them off. And Moses stands up and he runs the men off and makes the girls come back again. So this is us struggling with trying to keep our mind clean while we're on this trip to the Lord. And this should sound similar to what we had going on in Sodom and Gomorrah with the men of the town. So you'll see that this is kind of something that rolls on and on. But most anything that came down from Egypt is going to be your lower mind. But now he's the higher mind. He would be, like Sarah going down into Egypt and tearing the place up, and that's what he does. He goes in and he now is the ruler, man, Someone that would be a slave and was a slave is now, the ruler, right-hand man of the, right-hand man, So what that means is that when your carnal mind becomes under the control of the higher side, wonderful things happen. Well, anyways, he winds up, he winds up telling the story that you're going to have 7 years of, good times, 7 years of famine, So he says he's going to have to start collecting good now so that you can get through the bad later, And it's just interesting how the story goes about, but it's really the whole point of this is going up and down, is giving you this kind of idea that it's a traveling situation. You have to go up sometimes. You got to take that. You got to go up into this restful area to gain anything. And whether it be wisdom or what have you, or your smarts, is what gives you a higher thing than other people. Even on his brothers, everyone has to bow to him. Everything. Let's not make him real. Whoever is in charge of the stone, is in charge of the world. Commands the world. You are the world. You're the earth. And if you can get control over this cinder stone, you're in control of yourself, and that's really all you want to do. There's this so later on there's going to be some interesting talk, about putting blood above the mantle and stuff like this here, and trying to, to keep the plagues from coming, that are going to come into Pharaoh, and kill their firstborns and stuff like that, in the Passover. You see how all of this stuff is really about their mind, uh, when you're playing and enjoying life on one side, and then you have the busy, 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 busy side over on this side, just busy, busy, working, working, working. This is the guys in the field, this is, Cain doing his thing. Everyone's a favorite. The favorites are over here doing nothing. There's a story called Martha and Mary. It's a parable where where these two ladies, where Jesus comes into their home, and when I guess it was going to be a banquet of some kind. This was what opened my eyes to the stories being symbolic. And it's just so strange. It was just one Thursday morning, and what we do is it's a morning prayer. And we would do it every Thursday morning to make the preacher come in and work. Since there's no one coming, there's just me and this old black woman. And him, I said, well, one or two together, Lord's are there. We were paying them, so we just figured, well, let's just make more church. See the devil in me, that church does it to you. But in that story, what happens is when these two ladies, the same story, the same thing plays out, is that Mary's over there doting all over him, having a wonderful little time. I'm dyslexic, so it could be either one of those two ladies. But one of the two ladies is doting and loving and enjoying Jesus and just having a great time at this company, one-on-one. Whereas the other lady, busy, 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 busy. Jesus, tell her to get up and help me. I got things to do, got stuff, I got movement, got things going on. What's going on? Tell her to help me. Damn, shit fire, Jesus. What the hell? Jesus tells her, you just go ahead and do what you want to do. She's doing her thing. And I'm not going to tell her to do nothing. So, it shows how busy, 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 busy. And all you have to do is just sit down and be quiet every now and then. And go up and meet him. Say hi. Spend this time. Stop being so busy. Stop being too busy. Adios.